Hi all, welcome to the BYJU'S Hindu News Analysis dated 11th February 2018. So let's get started. So the first article says Modi reiterates support for Palestine. So the article goes on to say that Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday said support for the Palestinian cause is a continuing thread in India's foreign policy and hoped for an early realization of sovereign, independent Palestine living in a peaceful environment. He further goes on to say India's support for Palestine is unbroken and unwavering. That's why I am here in Ramla, Mr. Modi said at the administrative headquarters of Palestinian Authority. So India in this particular case reiterates its stand that post-independence till date India supports the cause of Palestine, that is an independent Palestine where they want a peaceful resolution of the Israel and the Palestine issue. This particular article further goes on to speak about 6 agreements. So what are the 6 agreements he speak about? After bilateral talks, the two sides signed 6 agreements worth around 50 million, including one for setting up a $30 million super specialty hospital in Beet Sahar. Agreements were also signed to build schools, a diplomatic training institute and a women's empowerment and the training center. So now let's look into the link article. So the link article here says that praise for India's noble and dignified position. Here Abbas says that I would like to reaffirm our commitment to political actions to meet our national goals of freedom and independence according to the two-state solution on the 1967 borders. So the point that I'll have to look here is what exactly are the 1967 borders. So this particular 1967 border is also called as pre-1967 borders. It is also called as the Green Line. So what exactly is it? It is a demarcation line set out in the 1949 Armistice agreements between the armies of Israel and those of its neighbors like Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon and Syria after the 1948 Arabi-Israeli war. That is, this includes all those regions before the 6-day war, right? There was a 6-day war between Israel and the Arab regions. So all those regions before the 6-day war becomes the part of your 1967 war. That is, the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, which was part of your 1967 war, needs to be sustained, right? So this is the Green Line or the 1967 borders. So what else do I have to look into this particular article? It says that the Prime Minister Narendra Modi was on Saturday confirmed the Grand Collar of the State of Palestine, the highest Palestinian award for the foreign dignitaries in recognition of contributions to promoting relations between India and Palestine. So this particular award, that is the Grand Collar Award, is the highest order given to foreign dignitaries like the kings or the heads of the state government and the persons of the similar rank. In the past, this has been given to the King Salman of Saudi Arabia, King Hamad of Bahrain, President Xi Jinping of the China, amongst others. So this may be one of the prelims question as to what is the Grand Collar of the State of Palestine, and the other thing that you will have to know is with respect to the 1967 borders. So what do I have to learn? What are the key important factors for the exam? We will have to know the India-Palestine relationship and also what it means by the 6-day war in the world history, right? So moving on, let's look into the next article. So the next article says Maharashtra to extend social outreach in Maoist hit areas. So let's look into the article. So the article says the Maharashtra government is extending its social outreach in the Maoist insurgency affected areas, with the Home Department proposing a new scheme to give jobs to the kith and king of informers who lost their lives after their cover was blown during the anti-Maoist operations. It further goes on to say a lot of these informers were left to a terrible fate when their cover was blown. The best our government can do is to give security to their family by offering jobs to the children, the officer said. What exactly are the statistics? You can see the statistics here. It says that in 2015 2015, 18 tribal informants were killed and 15 murders connected to left-wing extremism were reported as against 14 the previous year. Now moving on further, it says that following the spate of violence, Maharashtra had in 2016 announced a lucrative surrender policy which the government played took a big way, resulting in substantial drop in violence. So the region that is most important that we will have to know is the Dandakaranya stretches, which covers over 92,000 square kilometer across 5 states: Chhattisgarh, Telangana, Maharashtra, Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. So why is this article important? It is because it is dealing with the Maoism issue. So what is the important things that I'll have to know for the exam perspective? We will have to know what exactly is the Maoism, what exactly is their agenda, how is that this particular agenda or an ideology is a threat to the internal security. Recently the government unveiled what is called as Samadhan. So this particular scheme is to fight the left-wing extremism. You will have to know the scheme, what exactly is the Samadhan scheme. The next thing is you will have to know what are the different surrender and rehabilitation policy of different state governments to fight Naxalism. So Andhra, Chhattisgarh and other regions have their own surrender and rehabilitation policy, which is also co-sponsored by the center. So we will also have to know about the surrender and the rehabilitation policy of the different state governments. And that apart, since Naxalism is a hidden agenda where it fights democracy, so what we will have to know is what are the different developmental strategies that the government has been using to counter this agenda or the ideology of the Naxalism. Okay, so this is it for this particular article. So let's move on to the next article. So let's see what the next article says. So the next article says militant outfit hopes for solution to Hummer issue. So I mean basically this is something to do with the northeast region, that is in the region of the Mizoram, and we will have to know who exactly are the Hummer People's Convention Democratic and then who are this Hummer. So basically when you're looking into this particular article, I will have to know is who exactly is the Hummer. So Hummer here, HMAR. Hummer are basically the tribes in the northeast region. These people belong to the Chinkuki Mizo group of tribes and they are recognized as the scheduled tribes under the 6th schedule of the Constitution of India. Where do these people live? These people live in the regions of Assam, Mizoram and Manipur. And the next thing that I'll have to know is with respect to the HPCD. So who are these HPCD? The Hummers People Convention Democracy. It is an offshoot of the Hummers People Convention which came into existence in 1996 as a political party spearheading a movement for self-government in north and the northeast of Mizoram. What is their intended objective? The objective of this particular outfit over the years has changed from an autonomous district covering the north and northeast of Mizoram to an independent Hummer state consisting of the inhabited areas of Mizoram, Manipur and Assam. So what is the key areas for the exam? What I'll have to know is with respect to the Hummer tribe. So these are the tribes that are located in the northeast region who are under the scheduled tribes in the 6th schedule. And next thing is who exactly is the HPCD, and third thing is how is that insurgency is affecting the northeast. So I'll have to know what are the different insurgency groups that are placed in different states in Assam. Say for example in this particular case it is in Mizoram, right? So I'll have to know what are the different types of insurgency groups that are there in different states in the northeast. This is what I'll have to look into from the exams perspective. So moving on, let's look into next one. So it says prelims focus. So what are the important things? There are 4 articles in this particular thing. One is the Great Egret, the second is the Clean Air Campaign, the third is the Rosie Starling, and the fourth is the Rubinstein-Theiby syndrome. So let's look into the first one, that is the Great Egret. So what exactly it is? It is one of the 4 subspecies found in Asia, Africa, Americans and the South European region. Okay, so where exactly are its distribution area? This is basically seen in the tropical and the warm temperate regions of the world. So what exactly do these birds, where exactly do these birds build their nest? They build their nest close to the waters, and according to IUCN it belongs to the least concern. So this is the most important thing that I will have to know. So moving on, let's look into another bird which says rosy starling. So what exactly is the rosy starling? It's basically a migratory bird which happens to travel from the regions of Europe to southern Asia, right? Okay, so what exactly is rosy starling and what is its importance? Basically it is a winter migratory bird which happens to visit Sri Lanka and India. Where exactly in India? Along the regions of Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and mostly it is the southern belt. Okay, so why are they important? Basically these are some of the birds which help in eliminating of locusts. So these are the pests in our field, right? So basically what this helps is, this rosy starling helps in the elimination of the locust in the field. So what exactly is the IUCN status for this? The IUCN status for this particular bird is least concern. Okay, so these are the two important birds from today's newspaper. And the next thing we will have to know is what exactly is the clean air campaign. So the clean air campaign is basically to sensitize ground level functionaries and general public to enforce the habit of environmental protection to improve the quality of air. There has been lot of noise in Delhi, right, with respect to the pollution, and there has been lot of emergencies and schools have been shut because of the amount of air pollution in the Delhi. So in order to overcome this particular thing, the government has come up with something called as clean area campaign, where it wants to sensitize the people. So what will it have? It will be basically a 2 weeks program with the support of the Delhi government, New Delhi Municipal Council, the Central Pollution Board, and also other municipal agencies. How does it intend to do it? Basically this campaign will see the deployment of around 70 teams to monitor the causes of pollution in the capital and initiate remedial measures, including penal action against serious polluters on the spot. So how do they intend to do it? The teams will be provided certain checklists so that there is focused activity on the mitigation of the pollution, including effective measures for dust mitigation, solid waste management, and also prevention of garbage burning. Okay, so this is it with respect to this clean air campaign. And the next thing is, what exactly is the Rubinstein-Thiebaud syndrome? The Rubinstein-Thiebaud syndrome is basically a condition characterized by short stature, moderate to severe intellectual disability, and you have distinct facial features and also broad thumbs and first toes. Okay, so these are the some of the things that you will have to remember with respect to the Rubinstein-Thiebaud syndrome. I mean, in case you are considering the numbers, the frequency is about 1 in about 1 lakh things. Okay, so this is it with respect to Rubinstein-Thiebaud syndrome. So let's look into the practice questions now. So what are the practice questions for today? What are pressure mines? Why are the Maoists deploying them, and how can the government overcome this problem? So basically when you are considering what are pressure mines, these are nothing but the blast mines. So the minute someone places their leg on these pressure mines or the blast mines, the legs get amputated. So why are the Maoists deploying them? How can the government overcome this problem? Please look into it and answer how exactly this particular question needs to be addressed. And the next thing is, what are the reasons for the continued increase of acid attacks? Also explain the guidelines of Home Ministry to curb this menace. Every single day, the minute you open the newspaper, you see one or the other person having acid attacks, right? So you will have to understand what exactly are the reasons for the increase in this acid attack in spite of certain guidelines from Home Ministry. So you will have to address the basic thing of why acid attacks is increasing, that is the patriarchal attitude and objectification of women and so on. And you will also have to clearly explain what are the guidelines of the Home Ministry, and in spite of the Home Ministry giving these guidelines, why is that the acid attacks are not reducing? All these things need to be addressed in these questions, and then please write your answers on the BYJU'S CNA segment and push your answers on the comment section. We will evaluate your answers and give you the relevant feedback. Okay, this is it for today. All the best. Thank you.